All right.
Amit, are you sharing your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Go on.
I can't see it.
So you can.
No.
How about now?
No. Yeah, it's loading now. Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
Okay. So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Myself Priya Tripathi, and I'm working as a senior test lead in Infinite Computer Solution. I have my co-author and colleague with me, Amit. Amit is working as AVP in Infinite Computer Solutions. So today's my topic is intelligent testing. I think some other. Okay.
But can you not see?
Some other slides are coming. Okay, now I can see. No, but some other resiliency validation with chaos engineering. I think we need to wait. They had to flash our. Okay. It's keep switching.
Let me stop screen and share once again.
Yeah, sure. Okay. She said you can introduce first. Okay, I can see your screen, Amit.
Okay, very good.
Okay, shall we start again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Priya Tripathi. I'm working as a senior test lead in Infinite Computer Solution, and my colleague and co-author is with me, and Amit. Amit is working as AVP in Infinite Computer Solutions. So, today's our topic is intelligent testing with AI ML and cognitive automation for complex RPA implementations. So, we'll start little bit on abstract. So here our target is from doing to what should be done in the world of intelligence. We are doing the automation, but what we are going to talk about is how we can make our system intelligent using the RPA with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So here the main point is RPA, which is robotic process automation, which help us to automate repetitive rule based manual processes, which we all know that. But how we can complement RPA with artificial intelligence and machine learning, that we are going to focus it today. And we also going to discuss some of the ecosystem and some of use case and example in our further slides. So I want to start my discussion with a research paper that is HFS research in 2019. So what HFS sees? HFS sees intelligent automation as a continuum with RPA as a gateway, which means automation of any business process start with RPA. Here they have taken the example data center automation. Here we can see there are different business process like runbook scripting, scheduling, job control, workload automation, and process orchestration. So automation of all these business process can start with RPA. There are many tools are available in market like Blue Prism, UiPath that we can use to automate our business processes. Now next what? Next is cognitive computing. Now we have automated our business process. Now we want to add some intelligence on top of our top of it. Our bot should be capable enough to take decision in unknowns if any unknown situation occurs. So there cognitive computing comes into play. Then next we have artificial intelligence. We just don't want just act and perform. We also want to do some prediction. So here artificial intelligence comes. So here we can predict and we can make some machine learning models that can help us for prediction.
All right.
So here are our intelligent testing solution. We follow some guiding principle here for to make our intelligent testing solution. So there are lots of testing activities that can be done through the bots and machines, and we can save our time and we can make our testing effective. So we have divided our testing solution in three parts. The first part is testing life cycle, the second part is RPA, and the third part is AIML. So let's look at first testing life cycle. So in typical testing life cycle, we have different phases like planning, design, implementation, execution, closure. We also do perform some manual automation, progression, and regression, different kinds of testing. Either we are doing the front-end application testing or middleware application or back-end. These all complete operation testing activities are labor intensive and time taking. So let's see how we can complement this testing life cycle through RPA. So let's look at RPA section. We can automate, do the test automation using cognitive RPA. We can perform operation using unattended bots. We can automate DevOps pipeline activity through bots like chatbot. And we can also do the defect logging, defect trace simplification through RPA technology. Now let's discuss the third section, that is AIML. What we can do here, we can do the test case identification, test case prioritization, test data generation, which is a crucial part in our testing. We can also do defect forensic root cause analysis through our machine learning models. We can also do the prediction of defects in software components. We can find out from which components the defects are originating. We can also do the self-healing of test scripts. So here we are going to discuss about testing lifecycle in agile world. Every organization is following the agile methodology. So what the typical process we follow here? So we have divided two sections. The top ones you can see, that is the developer process, and the below ones you can see the testing process. So how we start? So first we have the backlog, where we capture the requirement, define the scopes, then we do the team alignment. Here we clarify if we have any doubts, we get the approval of requirement, we'll assign the resource, then we start the user story grooming session. Here we engage our stakeholders, we prepare the document, we'll estimate resource and create the roadmap plan. And then we start with the development plan. Here we define the architecture, resources, and finalize the timelines. Then developers start here the coding, and we start executing our plan. Then we deploy the code. After deployment, we'll do the monitor. Then we have to do the maintenance also. And final, we prepare some reports, and we'll start presenting to the stakeholders. In each developer process, we have parallelly the testing process also runs. We do the requirement verification, we make a traceability preparation, then we'll write the test scenario, we'll get the sign off from the business team. We create the testing plan, test data strategy, then we will create the test cases, test data preparation, we'll perform integration testing, and after all testing, we'll do the retrospection. Here we will try to find out how many defects came, what was the root cause of that defects, that we will do here, and finally the presentation support. So why we are discussing this agile method here? Because here currently we stand here, but this complete all process can be replaced using our digital workforce that we are going to discuss in our next slide. So here is apply digital workforce. So what does it mean? Digital workforce can be bots, attended bot or unattended bot, or it can be AI automated component. So this method we divided in four categories, like first discover, capture, automate, and optimize. What we are doing then discover. We are discovering the process here. In our complete testing life cycle, which all processes can be automated through RPA, which all process can be done through AI. So here we are doing the discovery of the processes, and also we are doing the process prioritization. Then next we have capture. We are doing here data understanding to automate our processes, which kind of data we need. If we have unstructured data, so we have to clean that data. So that data understanding part will come here. Then this is automate. Then third is we have automate. Here we are doing the RPA and AI automation using unattended automation or attended automation. Unattended automation means human intervention is not required. From starting to end, complete our flow is going to done by our bot. In attended automation, that some human intervention is required. And then last one is optimize. Here we are going to analyze. We'll gather the information, we'll do the operational insight, how much time we save, and we'll do the business insight, how much cost we save. So next slide, we are just showing and regular testing process and how it's going to be if we are introducing our chatbot or our RPA bots. So in regular testing process, as we discussed earlier, we start with the test planning, then doing the test execution, then we have the testing operation, then reporting, and finally defect management. The same process if we will do through our bots. Bot will manage the Jira, bot can log the defects, chatbot based DevOps operation key we can perform, bots can send the reports, and finally defect trials also we can do through our unattended bots. So here our independent data oriented setup is going to save over 10 to 20% of our time. Here we have made the table tool comparison. Top 3 tools are available in market like Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, and UiPath. These tools are based on our understanding and our requirement. We finalized and we decided few categories here. But it's up to you. It means you can use any tools based on your requirements and need.
All right, thank you, Priya. Now, we will look at some of the automation areas wherein the intelligence of RPA and AIML can be introduced. So I'm just going to show you some examples wherein we see some of the applied areas where these technologies are very useful, and we have done it for some of our telcos. UI and dashboards. This is an area where you do a lot of analytics for executives. You create so much Jira boards, a lot of user management, creation of users, permissions, etc. All of these tasks are on a day-to-day basis we do. These can very well be replaced through bots, and they can perform all of these repetitive actions with some training, with some cognitive intelligence in them. Test execution. This is where a lot of your test data generations, your self-healing for scripts, etc. This comes into play. Looking at your scripts, looking at your data, your AI models can actually look and fix some of those problems which you face while you are actually executing your test sets. Defect logging. This is an area where you are logging the defects, finding the duplicates, getting the trends, and then the cause of those defects. These are very well possible through unattended bots in RPA, and we are using that for some of our telcos. And similarly, we will be able to save substantial amount of time by applying bots here instead of manual labor. Test analytics, where you have to predict what can happen, what kind of problems can happen, what is the sentiment of overall testing, identification of tests, etc. This is also one area which is very much feasible using these technologies, and you can predict what is the quality of your testing based on certain tests and based on certain conditions which you input in your AI model. DevOps and chatbots. This is a very interesting and very, very exciting area. Now, a lot of us, we work in a manual fashion. We pass instruction from human to human. But if you develop a chatbot, which is actually automating your DevOps operations, you can pass your instructions to the bot, and the bot will take those instructions and perform. I'll give you very simple examples. For example, you need to set up a DevOps pipeline, set up a new environment, clean up a new environment, perform a refresh, or deploy a build, or things like that, right? So you don't need to do all of that. These instructions can be passed to these chatbots, and they can save a lot of these operational inefficiencies which you have in the system. Collaboration. A lot of your partner portals, document management, where you manage your wiki, your portals, your documentation which come in, right? So all of this can be automated through these bots, and they can be coded with some rules, and your wikis, etc., can be very well maintained by the latest and greatest versions of documentation. A lot of your defects, when your AI models run on top of your defects, they find out what is the root cause of that. And they can predict what are the areas which are weak in terms of testing and where you need to emphasize more for testing. A lot of test data management needs, where you have to retrieve a lot of data for your models or any need, a lot of data management and processing. This is one area where bots can do repetitive stuff. If you need some intelligence to be added, you can complement through your cognitive and AI. I'll not go more into this. Let me cover some more examples for you. This is an area where you actually begin with. You begin with an enterprise process wherein you have a lot of unstable, unpredictable, inefficient, and ineffective processes, which you need to mature or modify in order to supply to these technologies. RPA and AI are not going to work directly for you. You will have to make changes to certain processes so that they are repeatable in nature and they can be passed on to these intelligent technologies, and they can process them, convert them into some candidates which are good qualifiers for RPA as well as AI ML models. And then they can give you the benefits in terms of automated bots, stable and predictable processes, low variations in waste, and effectiveness and better ROI in your testing. Now, if I have to look at the different areas what we perform, what do we do? We do a lot of web testing, data middleware, performance testing. What I'm doing is I'm putting all my frameworks on top of my AIML model, right? And I'm trying to read all my data sources in terms of defects, test cases, and artifacts from testing. What does it mean? These are my sources. I'll do my analytics. I'll run my models on top of this data. And this is my source. All that testing which we are going to perform, this is going to be assessed based on the model prediction which is going to run on top of this data. So I'm always ahead and I'm always sitting on top of my operations. I'm not going to perform all of that. And if I have to do analytics on my trends and bottlenecks and improvement, that is also very well possible using this method. These are some of the tool sets which you can also make use of. There are sort of a lot of data preparation tools which we use out of this, a lot of model building tools which we consume in different formats. And there are a lot of compliance, validation, etc. models. I'll not go into this. This is just a flashcard to show you that what all can be consumed in order to make this much more effective for your community. I want to use some time here to give you understanding on one of the use case which we did for one of our telcos. The scenario was the telco used to create a lot of AIML models for marketing and business for their business functions. But in order to do that, because they were heavy into creating machine learning models, they used to create massive amount of data sets which were consumed by those models. And there were specialized teams who would go through this data, create this data, and it was a massive effort. Now, you just can't deploy a bot and perform it. So what we did is we created a TDM portal for them in which we used to take requests in terms of what they want to do on data, what kind of data set they want to create, is that a masking request, subsetting request, etc., and how they want to fetch that data from which sources, how they want to transform that data, all of those things we built in the TDM portal. We kept our bots at the background. The bots will fetch the output from this TDM portal. And based on that, they will perform the action, whether it's a cleansing request, ETL request, encryption, masking, etc., any kind of request, because they have the data and intelligence, so this bot will perform. Now, once this data is processed, we used to pass it to our AI processor. What they are doing is the bots and AI/ML models which are there, they will apply more intelligence on top of that, that what is expected out of that, how to clean that data set, and how to make it convenient for my models. And this is where some of the TDM packages and tools were consumed so that these come in good form. And once that is done, then we move that to the data repositories, wherein they can be picked up by the AIML models. The next was data versioning. Whenever we update any of the version, these versioning were being maintained here. Now the whole process, if you see, this used to consume about 40-member team, and we brought it down to a couple of licenses in terms of RPA and a few AI, which require minimal modification over few months. And this results into saving of approximately 50 to 60% in terms of human labor, as well as the accuracy and the response time compared to humans. I'll just quickly go over some of the benefits. What you can expect when you combine these technologies. Effort savings, approximately 25% is certainly possible. A lot of automated operations like permissions, Jira setup, defects logging, scripts running, Wikiboard setup, automatic trials, all of this is very well possible with bots. Intelligent analytics, if you have to perform automation on your test data, actionable insights from defects, test case identification, what needs to be done when a regression suit is picked up, all those can be done through AIML models. Predictive intelligence, you can predict your results, you can predict outcomes, that what are the defects coming, what kind and what kind of problems they can cause, what are the components which are weak, what is the code which is actually causing those problems, and do a lot of forensics with that. And then finally, the most important, automated testing operations using DevOps chatbots, which take instructions as I explained and can do a lot of your operational specific task activities 24/7 for you. What we have seen is this gives you about 25% of time saving at a minimum, and about 40% of testing effectiveness if you deploy some of these technologies in a proper cohesive manner. I'll now pause for some questions. I think we are pretty much on time as well. Yeah. All right. So, any question from anybody? So while you think about the questions, what I can do is I can quickly come back to this slide wherein you can see what are the areas where you can combine some of these technologies, and what are the areas where you can apply this. This will help you in reducing some of the questions which can help your testing lifecycle automation. Okay, I see a question. Do we have a small working demo? Not at this time, but I'm happy to share a demo. You can contact me offline, and I can help you with the demonstration of the same use case which I took today. And I can flash that demo for you so that you can have a look at that. Okay, then I guess this is it. We do not have any more questions. I'll request the organizers to take control. Priya, do you have something to add?
No, Amit, that's all.
Thank you all for joining this session. We both thank you for listening to us so peacefully and with eagerness. And we look forward for any offline comments, and we can help you with any demonstration or any details around the presentation we did today. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.